Hello there, it's Diorama Don here yet again. Another enthralling episode and how I make my dioramas. Before I continue, please subscribe to the channel if you wouldn't mind. Just click that subscribe button and you'll be informed when new videos come along. So this is my latest project, the apocalyptic gas station. So I'll go through how I made it from the very beginning. I've done this video in a slightly different way. I normally start at the very beginning and go through to the end, but this time I've come back to the beginning with the end result. Know what I mean? So I'm able to show you how it ended up before I start it. Okay. So that's what we're aiming at for making. Okay, so I'll give you a better rundown on how I made everything all through the video. So let's get on with it. So let's make a start then with the front of the garage. So I've cut the shape that I want. It's not an exact copy, but there is a photograph on the internet that I'm using as a guideline. I'd show you it. It's a fantastic photo of a rundown garage, but it's blathered in copyright signs, so I don't want to infringe on anyone's copyright. But that's generally the shape of the front of the garage, and I've made another one so that when that sits over the top, like so, I can fill in these holes with bricks to make it look like the broken render on the front of the garage there. And this one is an actual crack in the building itself. So I've just cut those out like so, and they will sit on top of it there. And then for the doors, I've done pretty much the same as I have done the last 2 or 3 videos, with just ordinary 3mm cardboard and cut grooves, not exactly the same width apart, slightly differing, but grooves all the way down, and then take out where the old wood panels would have expanded or rotted away. And then at the bottoms where they've rotted also. And then for the first time, I've gouged it with the tip of a knife blade to give the impression of a very old wood, so that when that's painted, it will hopefully look okay. That will sit then behind there to make our garage door. Like so that'll be the front, and then for the sides I've got these, and then the back and the roof will be a very shallow angle, something like that. Yes, I think that's right. So that's the beginnings then of the garage. I'll put all these together and put the bricks in between, and then I can put a render on the front to make it look right. Okay, I'll go ahead and do that and be back in a moment. So I've stuck my bricks on. These are the bricks that I make from tile grout, brick coloured tile grout. I've got a couple of videos on how I make these, so if you need to know, and by all means look it up. So we've got the bricks stuck on, and then that means that I can slip this over the top to give the impression of broken render. So we've got the bricks underneath, and then I can render over the top there. Then for the actual garage doors, that will sit behind there like that. For these pieces overhead, I gouge them diagonally both ways with a sharpened knife, and then horizontally to give the impression of a gnarled old piece of wood that might have sat over the top there. So that's just cardboard, that's all. I think turns out quite realistic. So there we are, there's the barn door. I've done the same with the side, although a slightly different way. So that will sit on the side like that, with the corrugated sheet of roofing coming down there. So I've got that now to do, to stick together and put together. There is a side building, so if that's the front of the building there, then there's a side building sits to the side, just there. A kind of shop area for the garage, where you might buy your oil or spare parts and whatnot. So it was a very simple cardboard building, and then I just used this corrugated sheet. Yes, orange is the only colour I could get. But if I sprayed, well, I stuck all the pieces of corrugated card on and then sprayed it a silver colour. So now we've got a corrugated side building that needs to be painted and rusted, basically. And then for the 3 petrol pumps, I've used polystyrene 1 inch wide, half an inch thick, 25 millimeters wide, 12 millimeters thick, and just enclosed it in 2 millimeter cardboard, just a piece on the front, back and sides. I've shaped it just a little bit on this one, give it a bit more authenticity, and this is like a pyramid shaped one. So 3 different designs of petrol pump, and then I need to draw some kind of dial on there, and then these will sit in the front like so. I'm going to need some kind of black piping for the petrol distribution. I'm not quite sure what I'll use for that yet, but we'll cross that bridge. So that's where we are at the moment. We've actually got everything that I need for the diorama. It's just a case now of gluing everything together. So I'll do that and come back and we'll see what happens. So I've put the building together, put the tin roof on. It's difficult to know what to do with the tin roof because it looks different every time you turn it because of the corrugation. But I sprayed it silver, then went over with what do you call it? What you call burnt umber, and then gave it another spray of silver. And then when that was dry, a neat burnt sienna, which is as close to rust as you could ask for, really. So, like I say, it looks different there to there and there. But all in all, I think that's as good a job as I'm going to do. Same with the smaller building. Just painted the door yellow and made it as rough as I could possibly make it. So that will sit there. Then we've got the 3 petrol pumps. I won't show you close up. From a distance they look okay. But they're all rusting and falling to pieces and in a general state of disrepair. So one will sit there and the other 2 there. So now I've got to make the base for it. So there'll be foliage and grass and what have you all around. So I'll make the base and see what happens then. Okay, so I made the diorama base, which is 2 pieces of 1/2-inch polystyrene stuck together, and then a border of 3mm cardboard, and then sprayed black. So that's the base. Then I put a cover of grey grout over the top, a pretty rough finish, so that it looks rough. The petrol pumps I painted white, and if you remember, I just used a cube of polystyrene and then cut them to shape, and then put 2mm cardboard front, back, sides, and then an extra piece on the front just to give it that 3-dimensional look. Painted them white and then gave them a black dry brush just to take off the whiteness, and then use burnt sienna, which is a good rust colour, to give the impression of rusted petrol pumps or gas pumps. The actual lead is some electrical wire, and I just fashioned the end, not that great, but fashioned the end, peeled back some of the electric wire, and fashioned a nozzle on the end there, which has fallen to the ground. This one, somebody's run off with it. They've pinched the nozzle, and a bit of grass all the way around, a twig from the tree. That's an apocalyptic tree. I thought it was more in keeping than with the leaves and what have you. Hole in the brickwork at the back there. Now the car is what do you call them? I can't remember. Metal car. What do you call die-cast? It's a die-cast old car that I've had for ages. I can't remember why I actually bought it, but took the wheels off and mounted this side on bricks, and that door should be open. That's it. Just went over with sandpaper to take off some of the paint, and then again with burnt sienna rust colour to give it that finish. So that's all. I haven't done anything other than that. Just sandpaper and dry brush with burnt sienna, and I think it turned out reasonably well. Sign I had from a previous project I did, so I've stuck that to 2mm cardboard and put that over the top there for the sign. The tops, the corrugated iron tops, I experimented a lot of different ways, because there are so many different ways of doing it. And I came up with a way that I think is worth a separate video. So my next video will just be a short video on how I did the corrugated roof. It turned out okay. Okay, so there we are. That's my apocalyptic gas station. There we go. So if you've enjoyed this video, again, please subscribe, and you'll be notified when new videos come along. In the meantime, have a go yourself, and happy modelling.